Welcome to the United Cast. It's Entertainment Talks podcast for Man United and football. I'm your host Matthew, and today I'm talking about Manchester United's 3-2 win away in the Premier League against Southampton. I'm just going to start with this. Yet again, we have a situation where Bruno Fernandes, a mixture of Bruno Fernandes, Cavani, Fred, and Van der Beek, have saved this game for Manchester United. I really think so. I think that, at the end of the day, we have come away with the 3 points. A dramatic, I think it was 92nd minute winner from Cavani. Really good. But this is another one of them situations where you cannot use a last minute winner to paper over the cracks of a pretty poor performance. And look, there are periods in this game where we did play quite well. We literally played well up until they first scored, up until Southampton first scored. Then we played really badly for a bit. Then they scored again. And then, of course, second half, Cavani comes on. I think that was at half-time, wasn't it? Yeah, Cavani comes on. Van der Beek and Bruno obviously still on the pitch. And it's yet again another situation where not just Bruno Fernandes, but kind of mainly Bruno Fernandes has yet again, let's be honest, saved Ollie from his job. Because you look at our last couple of results, our last few wins, or that sort of thing. If you take Bruno Fernandes out of that team, sure, there's still some good performers in there: Cavani, Van der Beek, Fred, and other players at certain points. But I don't know where we'd be without him. Really, I really don't. He's one of them players where the tactics and the coaching just simply not good enough. And it has again come down to individual performance. I can't look at this game and say, okay, it's an Ollie tactical masterclass, and the coaching's been really great. No, this was a situation to me where the players, Bruno kind of as the unofficial captain, I suppose. He basically is the captain of the team. He just hasn't got the armband on because Maguire's got it. He pulls the team together. Cavani uses his experience. Van der Beek uses his quality. Fred uses his tackling. And we pull ourselves back into the game. I think defensively today we're at absolute shambles again. Of course, you know what I'm going to say about Maguire. I thought he was really poor again. But yeah, it's just another really poor performance. And look, I'm obviously happy that we got the 3 points. Why would I want us to lose or draw the game? I wouldn't want that. Sure, I don't want Ollie in the job, but I don't want Manchester United to have to lose in order for that to happen, because I want us to win every game that we play. Great that we got the 3 points, and apparently I haven't looked at the Premier League table myself, but apparently we're only 5 points off of Liverpool. And we do have that Burnley game in hand, which if we won that, that's a big if sometimes, we'll be within 2 points touching distance of Liverpool. Does that mean that we are Premier League title contenders? I think that's getting a bit far ahead of ourselves if we look at it that way. We still got, 20... Was that our 9th game today? Over 20 odd games to go still. Yeah, something like that anyway. So yeah, it's just another situation where I feel like the players have used individual performance and have pulled this win together for us. And it is disappointing when that happens. Sure, it's great to see these players, or some of them, play well. Donny's fantastic, Fred was fantastic, Cavani with the 2 goals again, Bruno Fernandes pretty much always plays well. And yes, I know he gives the ball away every now and then, and he makes a risky tackle. But my goodness, if you took him out of the team, I honestly don't know where we'd be. Because if you take him out of the team, you take all of his goals and assists away. Which there was an interesting stat that came up on Sky Sports today as I was watching the game. 25 is goals and assists together. He's got the most in the Premier League put together. Granted, more of those are probably assists than goals, but they still, add up and stuff. That just tells you, doesn't it? That just tells you. And sure, it's great that we've got somebody who's such a vital, cog in the machine, so to speak, such a vital part of the team. But it's just down to him again. And I do not understand the fans that are like, oh, he gives the ball away. We should drop him. Drop him? Yeah, good luck with that. But I get it. Opinions are opinions. If you don't like Bruno Fernandes, I'm obviously very confused by that. But I think we can clearly see that he is pulling this team together. So yeah, but yeah, that's just the way it is. Talking about Cavani for a minute, I told you all that I was right about Cavani. Predator in the box, 2 headers, brilliant goals. It still does annoy / confuse me when I see him like out on the wing with the ball, or he's crossing the ball into somebody, and he's clearly got some work rate, which is brilliant. That's great. I really, really like that, but I do wonder how much of that, this is where my confusion comes in. I do wonder how much of that is someone telling him to sort of track back, and how much of him doing it himself. And look, as long as it doesn't like tire him out and stuff, he's not the youngest player there. He's 32, so he's not as young as he used to be, but as long as he keeps scoring the goals, puts in the work rate, and keeps playing well, I've not got any problems with Cavani. Brilliant performance from him today. A couple of good headers, and obviously that was brilliant. So that was great as well. Defensively, just terrible, as I said. Maguire. I'm going to be really brutally honest here, and sometimes I found it lately to be more fun when I'm brutally honest. I mean, I'm always honest, but being brutally honest is a bit more different. I think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and this might really damage Maguire, so I don't know if you completely should do this, but this is what I think that you should do in order to show a bit more ruthlessness as a manager. Strip the captain's armband off of Maguire, give it to Bruno, because he is the captain of the team pretty much on the pitch anyway. Drop Maguire. Obviously you have to figure out who else you're going to put there, either Bailey or Twanzebe or someone else. Not Phil Jones, obviously. Apparently Phil Jones isn't registered to play in the Premier League. I heard that the other day. Which is what are we paying him for then? But yeah, strip him of the captaincy, drop him for a couple of games, put somebody else in. That's what I would do, because I just think that you got to look at what would make the team better, and for his mental health that might not do any good. In fact, it might do some harm, but you need to, I just think, for the sake of the team and the performance, obviously sit down and have maybe a conversation with him. Obviously there's the Greece incident that's still kind of looming over his head probably, but the thing for me is I do think he's gotten a little bit worse since that Greece event, but I don't think he was very good before that anyway. So if you're going to maybe use the excuse, which I have heard the excuse used, that like, oh, he's only playing this badly because of the event at Greece, the assault thing or whatever it was that happened there, I don't think he was very good before that anyway. So like, sure, it probably has made him worse, but I don't know, I just think, and it could be good for him anyway, it might not do him very good to, I mean, if you drop him anyway, you do have to give somebody else the captain's armband because he won't be on the pitch, but just drop him, just give him a rest for like a couple of weeks, not one game, give him a rest for a couple of weeks, and see what he's like when he comes back. I don't know when the next thing of this trial is supposed to be. I haven't really looked into it too much, but it's coming up soon. It seems to be taking a long time, but some of these court cases can take a long time, can't they? But yeah, I would drop him, strip him of the armband, give the armband to Bruno, who just pretty much, in terms of on-the-field performance, regardless of actual titles, he basically is our captain. So I would just do that anyway. Speaking about the goals, yeah, poor defending from the corner, and of course the free kick from Ward-Prowse. To be fair, it was a damn good free kick, and sometimes there's not a lot that you can do about that. I wouldn't really blame De Gea for the goals necessarily. I mean, he kind of got injured a bit from trying to save the free kick. So obviously we've got to be a bit careful there. But sometimes when a player just hits a really, really good shot, there is only so much the keeper can do. But yeah, that was a good goal from Ward-Prowse, obviously. I think they brought up a stat as well on Sky Sports when he was going to take it, and he's scored a lot of free kicks, basically. So there's that. Good goal from Fernandez. Got passed into him, of course, and then he tucked it in the corner. Not too much to talk about there. The second goal, well, it's just good finishing, really, from Bruno for the first one. But for the second goal, the equaliser, Bruno hits the ball from the outside of the box. Where has he done that recently? With the screamer the other day, last week's Champions League game, of course, or I guess it's this week's the most recent Champions League game where he scored the volley. Kicks the ball into the box. Cavani gets his head on it again, and that makes it 2-2. And then of course the cross from, I think it was Rashford that crossed it in, which we'll talk about him in a little bit later. Cross from Rashford. Headed in by Cavani, 3-2 winner. Good stuff, really, really good stuff. Look, I don't think we have a lot of problems in attack. There's a few maybe players that could have done better today. Greenwood and Rashford, I think, could have done a lot better. Obviously, Greenwood came off and Cavani came on and got 2 goals. That's brilliant. But to me, it's sort of like the midfield, the good performances from midfield, Bruno, Van der Beek, Fred, Matic was fine today. Bruno, Matic, Van der Beek, and then of course Cavani just sort of papered the cracks over the bad performance today, I think. So, excuse me. But yeah, there were still a few chances today that should have been scored. Rashford should have passed the ball to Cavani to basically tuck in an open goal. Bruno should have scored a bit earlier than that. I'm trying to think because there was a lot of like point blank range shots today. I'm just trying to remember them all. There was Greenwood's one. Excuse me. Greenwood's one that was from the first half, went round the keeper. Bit of an awkward angle, but you would think on Greenwood's left foot that he'd probably put that away. So that's another one. Rashford did a couple of them today. Bruno did one. And like I said last week, I'm not gonna defend any of these players for missing point blank range shots. Bruno should have scored one. Greenwood should have scored one. Rashford should have scored one. Who else had one? There was about 3 or 4. It was mostly those players. But yeah, you got to put those chances away. I gave Rashford and Martial stick. I think it was against West Brom. Yeah, the West Brom game when they missed the point blank range shots. You got to put them away. And then of course I gave Dan James a bit of praise, not too much praise, but a bit of praise for tucking his shot away because you've got to score those goals. I mean, how much closer to the goal do you need to get? So not particularly good there, but great goals again from Cavani. Really, really happy about that. The Predator in the box. I get quite excited when I see when we're in that point of, okay, we're either on a little counter attack or whatever, or when we've got the ball on the edge of the box, and I look at Cavani and I think, just get the ball to him. He's not going to score every single one. I think there was one today that got deflected for a corner. There's not much he can do about that, I suppose. If the player actually gets in the way and blocks it. And then there's the 2 headers, of course. But yeah, whenever he cross the ball in and Cavani's in that box, I do get excited because it's an exciting prospect, isn't it? Cavani in the ball with the box. In the box with the ball, rather. He's not inside the ball. Cavani with the ball in the box, I think, is always an exciting thing to be happening. So that's good. Anyway, let's take a quick break here. Got more to get into with the player ratings, which there won't be too many surprises, but I'll see you for all of that in a minute. Hi there, and thanks very much for listening. Today I'm here to tell you about our 2 different affiliate links. The first of which is our Amazon affiliate link. That's where you can shop on Amazon. We can get a small cut of what you spend, but it won't cost you anything extra. So whether you're getting a gift for somebody else or treating yourself, or maybe both depending on the occasion, we can get a small cut of what you spend, but it won't cost you extra. You can find the link to our Amazon affiliate link in your show notes. The second affiliate link for today is our Kualu affiliate link. If you want to get started with a website and a domain name of your choice, you can simply sign up with Kualu using the link in the show notes. They also have a live chat support system that's in the bottom right hand corner as well. So if you need help with getting set up, Kualu will be able to help you with that as well. The links for both of these can be found in your show notes for Kualu and the Amazon affiliate link. If you would like to get the ad-free versions of Entertainment Talks podcast and support us along the way, you can simply sign up over on our Patreon page. You can sign up either as a creator or as a patron. There's no difference there for the time being, and you can get your ad-free podcasts over there. It's a great way to support us on Entertainment Talk and to get rid of the ads and get your ad-free podcasts. You can also support Entertainment Talk on Patreon at the $3 level tier. This gets you a chance to request a review from us of your favourite TV show or film, but it's 1 per month, so 1 TV show or film review per month. It's up to you which one you want to choose. We will watch a few episodes of the TV show that you choose, or of course if it's a film, we'll just watch that film and we will review that for you on that month. And then when it gets to the next month, you can request a new TV show or a film review of your choice. That's $3 level tier. That does also of course include your ad-free podcasts for the month as well. Thank you very much for listening and enjoy the rest of the show. Alright, recently on Entertainment Talk, a new episode of Star Trek Discovery this week, Season 3, Episode 7. So that was another good one for Star Trek. We've got some episodes left of the season, of course, because it goes up to 13 episodes. TV Talk 35, Grey returned to Entertainment Talk. and we discussed quite a few different shows, but some of the highlights were High School Musical, the musical, the series, which is the official silly name of it. The High School Musical TV series on Disney Plus. I talked about that because I finished the first season. Grade finished it before, but I wanted to talk about it because I finished the first season. Emily in Paris, the new Netflix show. I finished the first season of that. Gray hadn't seen that one, but I talked about that. We talked a bunch about stuff about procedurals and crossovers and things like the Chicago shows, 911, FBI, all those sorts of different things. I talked briefly about my brief history with Made in Chelsea, which is no longer in my present history. But talked about that and a bunch of other things. We also talked about HBO and Sky Atlantic's The Undoing with Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant. So that was pretty fun to do. Walking Dead World Beyond, still continuing Season 1, Episode 8. There will be a double episode for the season finale this week. The episode's already gone out, of course, on Amazon, but I'll be watching one today, one tomorrow, and then we'll do the season finale double episode podcast on Wednesday. United 4-1 Istanbul, that was another one. This week on Gaming Talk we talked about Cyberpunk 2077 and some features of the game, censoring adult content and that sort of stuff. Talked about Twitch giving a few people strikes, Nintendo doing the same thing, and also give my impressions of Watch Dogs Legion as well, the new Ubisoft game. And then finally, Fear the Walking Dead Season 6 Episode 7, the mid-season finale for Season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead, and that'll be back at some point in 2021. That's what we've been doing on Entertainment Talk and on podcast platforms. Let's get to player ratings. David De Gea, let's start off with the goalkeeper. We'll go through the team and then we'll talk about the subs. De Gea, I'm going to give an average 6-2. Of course, he let in a couple of goals, but I don't think he could have done a ton about them. Got a little bit injured, didn't he? Some sort of knock or something. And Dean Henderson came on, so we'll talk about Dean Henderson a little bit later. Wan-Bissaka had an odd game, didn't he? Wan-Bissaka, what should I give him? I'm going to give him an average 6 again. I thought we got forward a bit better today, just a little bit better. Sometimes he looks a little bit lost when he's going forward with the ball. Couple of good tackles here and there, just an average game for Wan-Bissaka, I think. Lindelof and Maguire, I'm going to give Lindelof a 4, and I'm going to give Maguire a 3. Another poor performance from the two of them. I do not know why Ole continues to put them together. They do not work as a partnership. Maguire's just playing really badly. You've got to just drop him. You've got to not be so afraid, and you've got to just drop him. Lindelof was slightly better than Maguire, but I don't think either of them had a great game today. Maguire I thought was particularly poor. And look, I don't like to seem like I'm picking on Maguire, but I'm not going to try and tell you that he played well, because then I'll be lying, and also wouldn't really be correct. But I just think he's got to get dropped. You can't keep playing him every game, and you can't keep playing him with Lindelof. That partnership clearly does not work. I don't know if Twanzebe and Bailey have got an injury or something, because who do we have for centre-back? We've got Jones, who isn't registered for the Premier League. I don't know why, although he's probably still injured. Bailey, Twanzebe, Maguire, Lindelof. We only got 4. I thought we had like 5 or 6. Obviously we've got players like Fosu Mensah. Delo is out on loan. Those are right backs though. But yeah, maybe we have only got 4. I thought we had more for some reason. Not because of Smalling. I know that Smalling's not there anymore, which is a big shame. I would love to have seen like Smalling with Twanzebe or Bailey. I think that would have been brilliant. Because yeah, that would have been good for so many different reasons. But he's gone. Maybe we have only got 4 then, unless I'm forgetting somebody. But that surprised me a little bit. Tellez, I thought Tellez was really good again today. I'm going to give him a 7. I think some of his crossing's really good. His attacking intent is really good. Looks energetic on the ball, and I just really like him a lot. I think he's been great in the games that he's played so far. Fred, I'm going to give him an 8. I know that he gave the free kick away. I would have given him a 9 maybe if that hadn't have happened, because I can't ignore that, he did give the free kick away, which did give them the free kick. Yeah, and that gave them the goal, obviously. So I'm not going to ignore that. That's why I'm giving Fred a slightly lower score, but he's just such a good midfielder. I'm really happy that we've seen the potential in Fred and we've actually got that out of him. he wins the ball a lot. He gets stuck in. His passing could be slightly better at certain points, but you want someone in the midfield that's going to get stuck in, and he does. And it's great when that happened. Matic, trying to give him an average 6, just had one of them weird games. Didn't do anything particularly badly. Didn't do anything particularly well. He's there to shield the back four, which I was going to talk about that in a minute, but we're in the player ratings. There's one thing I forgot to talk about is the formation here. I was nervous straight away when we decided to play the diamond, because if you look at the way that this is laid out, you've kind of, in a way, got you've got the back four, 5, 6, 7 defensive players. I know that Fred and Van der Beek are going to get forward a little bit, but their general position is a little bit more defensive. And it's... I don't want to say this is becoming obvious. It's becoming a little bit clearer that because Ollie, for some reason, I can't tell you what the reason is, I'm not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, continues to stick with Maguire and Lindelof, and feels that they need shielding. And that's why he's put Matic in front of there, and that's why you usually get a combination of Matic, Fred, or McTominay. You kind of only need one of them players in certain games. In certain games you do maybe need 2 holding players and one that's going to push forward a little bit, but Ollie picks a combination of those 3 players, so Matic, McTominay or Fred, very defensive players, quite often, and it seems like he's using 2 holding players to protect a poor back 2, because you're basically putting Fred and Matic, I know that Van der Beek is a bit more advanced sometimes, you're basically putting Matic and Fred, or whether it's McTominay, in front of Maguire and Lindelof to protect them, and you only should need one player to do that, because in a way, if you've got Fred pushing forward a little bit more, you change the formation, right? You've got Fred pushing forward a little bit more, you've got Van der Beek pushing forward a little bit more, and then you've got Matic there. You only should need Matic sitting in front of Maguire and Lindelof, so that there's one player shielding them, but he does pick, again, the combination of 2 of those 3 quite often to seemingly shield that back 4, the back 2 rather, and it just, I don't know, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, then you're just kind of protecting 2 players that are in bad form, Maguire and Lindelof. So I don't know, but that's what he's gone with. What was I saying? Yeah, Matic 6 average performance. Van der Beek, I'm going to give him a 9. I thought it was brilliant. We had 4 players today that played really, really, really well. Sorry, 5 players. Telles, Van der Beek, Fernandes, Fred, and Cavani, obviously with the 2 goals. So yeah, you got Van der Beek. I'm going to give him a 9. Just brilliant. He's so good at those so short little passes. He's good at getting into space and just, well, everything he does is really, really good. Tackling, passing, doesn't shoot that often. But yeah, he contributes to the link play. He's brilliant. I am glad, as much as I've given Ollie stick, starting Van der Beek in the last 2 games has been a very, very good decision. So I've got to give him a bit of credit there, I suppose. And I remember what I said after who did we just play in the Champions League? Istanbul. And that I think that was the first time that Van der Beek has played 90 minutes. And I said the next 5 games, so not including that Champions League game, the next 5, so starting from the Southampton game, I want to see Van der Beek playing 90 minutes for the next 5 games, and this is the first one. We'll see how many of those 5 he sticks to it. I don't want him getting subbed off unless obviously he's injured or something, or really, really tired, but mainly through injury. But if he's not injured or tired, or obviously if he's not suspended, if he fouls someone or something, I want to see him start the next 5 games. Let's see if Ollie can achieve that, and can notice that he should do that. It's a good kind of test for him. But Van der Beek, I'll give a 9 to. Who do I give for my man of the match? I think I've got to give it to Cavani because he got 2 goals. Sure, Bruno I'm going to give a 10 to as well. Actually, no, I'm going to give Van der Beek a 10. I don't see any reason to not give him a 10. Van der Beek, I'll give him a 10, just for reasons I've already said. Fernandes, I'll give him a 10 as well because of everything I said at the start of the episode. I do not know where we would be. Can you imagine if we didn't get him in January? I don't think we would have qualified for the Champions League, and I honestly think, I don't know if we'd definitely be in relegation zone, but we would not be in the top half of the table. We would not be in the top half of the table this season. He has absolutely pulled this team together, and it's becoming a bit of a crutch to lean on. It's a good crutch to lean on, but it's one that might break at some point. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to give him a 10. Not quite my man of the match, but I thought he was very, 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 very good today, Bruno, because he pretty much always is. Yes, he gives the ball away. Yes, he makes risky passes, but you can't drop him. There's no way you can drop Bruno Fernandes. Greenwood. I'd give him just below a average performance, so I'm going to give him a 5. Should have scored, could have maybe scored a little bit later as well. There was that chance where he had the close range shot, he took it, and then Fernandes got the ball and also sort of had his shot blocked. So that period of play, one of them probably should have scored there. I don't know, he's not quite up for it at the moment. I do know obviously about certain things that are going on in his personal life, about what happened to his friend that played for City. Very, very, very tragic. And I do feel for Mason Greenwood, and it's a tragic situation that happened there. So it's definitely understandable as to why he's not in form at the moment, or not quite up to his best. He wasn't terrible today. I'm not going to sit here and say that Greenwood was terrible. Just his sharpness has gone a little bit, and you can understand why if you know about what's kind of going on in his life. But yeah, I'm going to give him a 5 today. I don't think it was terrible. Definitely not good. Just a sort of below average performance. Rashford did assist with the last goal to get the winner, because you got to think of some little things sometimes, right? If Rashford doesn't cross that ball correctly to Cavani, we don't score. Granted, if it does go to Cavani and he doesn't head it right, it doesn't score. If Rashford makes a different pass, again, maybe we don't score. So you got to look at little things like that. He did lose the ball a lot today and did play particularly poorly, just wasn't switched on. But you've got to give a bit of credit where credit is due, and that's with the assist, which gave us the winning goal that gives us the 3 points. I'll give him a 4.5. I don't think he was very good at all today, but I'm going to give him the 0.5 because of the assist, and I can't give him the same score as Lindelof. Yeah, he wasn't very good today. He's got to learn to get his head up a little bit. Of course, he could have had 2 assists if he'd have passed to Cavani at one point, but he didn't do it, and it's a bit of a shame. But nonetheless, he put the cross into the box, and Cavani got on the end of it, which was brilliant. So there's that. Let's move on to the subs. Who do we have here? Cavani, 10, man of the match. Brilliant performance. Yeah, Cavani, brilliant performance today. He gets a 10. 2 very, very good goals, good headers, good positioning, just brilliant overall. You can see there's a bit of a leadership role there. Or not even a bit of a leadership. He is a leader in the team. He's one of the older players, of course, which is great. I am a bit confused sometimes as to why he tracks back and drifts out wide, but as long as it doesn't do anything, result in anything bad, I guess that's fine. There was a particular point in this game, I think it was towards the end of the second half, where he tracked back so much that he was sort of in Matic's position and tackled someone, and I was like, why is Cavani on the edge of our penalty area? But he got the tackle in, and he passed it off, and obviously basically won the game for us. So yeah, brilliant performance. Got to be man of the match, Cavani. Usually it's Bruno, my man of the match, because of, again, everything I've said so far in the episode. But yeah, he scored 2 goals and he won us the game. So that's that. Dean Henderson came on. I'll give him an average 6 again. Didn't need to deal with a whole lot. Obviously came on for De Gea, not too much to say there. Williams, I'll give him an average 5 or 6 or whatever. Didn't get involved a terrible amount. Tellers apparently did have a knock. I was very, very confused when they subbed Tellers off, because I was looking at the bench and thinking like, hey, you could maybe bring Mata or James or someone on. Cavani's already come on, obviously, but because our bench today, Cavani, Mata, James, Fosu-Mensah, Henderson, Williams and Twanzebe. So very, very defensive bench. You've got 3 defenders. One's a right back, one left, or I guess Williams is I don't know what he is these days, Williams. And then the centre back with Twanzebe. But you've got Fosu-Mensah as well. And then the 3 attacking options, Cavani, Mata and Dan James. Interesting. But yeah, they both had averagely sort of good games, all of them, apart from Cavani, who's the 10 out of 10. But that's it from me. Oh, excuse me, that's it from me. What did you think of this performance? What do you think of everything I discussed? The future of Ollie and Bruno kind of saving this team. Not just him, obviously, Cavani scored and Van der Beek was great and Tellers was good and Fred was good as well. What do you think of what I said about Maguire potentially just stripping him of the captaincy? I mean, whether it is officially stripping him of the captaincy, if you are to drop him, which I think you should do, he can't be the captain. So someone else would need to be, and that player would obviously be Bruno. What do you think of everything I said about that? What do you think of our shocking defence? Let me know of everything involving Manchester United and everything involving Entertainment Talk. Matthew at entertainmenttalk.org, Twitter eTalkUK. There's a contact page and information in your show notes, so get involved. Ollie keeps his job for another week. Even if he loses midweek to PSG, he probably won't get sacked. I reckon he'd have to how many would he have to lose at this point? Because we've actually won the last 4 games or so. Yeah, roughly about the last 4 games, wasn't it? Something like that. I think he'd have to probably lose 3 or 4 games in a row, not draws. I think if he lost 1, drew 1, and then lost 1, he still wouldn't get sacked. I reckon Ollie would need... Now, I'm not trying to sit here and say, like, what do we need to get him out? But, like, just trying to analyse the situation. What would it take to get sort of him sacked or whatever? I reckon it'll be 3 or 4 defeats in a row. Which, look, this is against Southampton very soon. We've got West Ham, Liverpool, Man City, Leicester at some point, Leeds, who aren't easy to play against. They beat Everton yesterday. They put up a really, really good fight at the start of the season against Liverpool. We got some really, really tough games coming up, and I'm very nervous about our defence. So yeah, I don't know what Liverpool's going to do to our defence, or what. I think Aguero's almost back from injury as well. And Jesus is very, very good and that sort of thing. And Leicester with Jamie Vardy and everything. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting time. Certainly, we got 2 Champions League games left as well. I believe it's PSG next, and then it's Leipzig after that, I think. So PSG next on Wednesday. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, lots of interesting stuff nonetheless to go through. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you all very, very much for listening. And if you'd like to check out the rest of our content, it is available on entertainmenttalk.org for TV, video games, films, and Manchester United podcasts. If you like what you've heard today and you want to get involved and you want to support more, of course you can check out everything that we do on entertainmenttalk.org. Options of supporting us: Patreon. We do have the $1 and $3 level tiers for ad-free podcast and review options. Word of mouth, you can simply tell people that you know about the website and the iTunes feeds. Tell them to just search for Entertainment Talk either on the favourite podcast platform or just search for the website. If we're not on your favourite podcast platform, please let us know and we will look into that as well. Social media, you can do the same thing pretty much, but through Facebook, Twitter, or whatever you use these days, and Facebook groups if you can. For your up-to-date, reliable TV and film news, you can find David over on geektown.co.uk. For your TV and film news, up-to-date and reliable. If you want that in weekly podcast format, Tuesdays, Geektown Radio, either available on podcast services by searching for Geektown, or available on geektown.co.uk. Bex streams daily at the moment over on Twitch. If you want to go and follow her over there, that would be great. Some cool, fun, interesting stuff over there. Lots of different things. She had a special guest on her show, I think it was yesterday as well. So go and check all that out on Trista Bytes. That's Trista, Bytes. Go and follow her over there. I'm streaming on Twitch as well if you want to see what I would do with the Manchester United team, which I have defensive problems of my own, but that's obviously a video game, it's very different. But if you want to watch all that and different video games that I stream as well, Twitch, eTalkUK, you can find me over there streaming some different PES stuff, some gameplay and things, heading towards the end of the season, and we'll see what I can win with that as well. But thank you very much for listening. Oh yeah, Let's Play Sundays as well, you can look out for those. There'll be a new one later today, and check out everything that we do. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on for the next football thing Wednesday. So see you then. Take care. Goodbye.